My name is Natalia. I'm a trauma-informed yoga teacher, and I assume you're here because you're interested in learning a little bit more about what trauma-informed yoga is. So let me briefly talk about that before we dive into the practice. So the primary difference between yoga you'll find in most Western studios and trauma-informed yoga is that in trauma-informed yoga, there's less striving, there's less pushing yourself, wanting to work out harder, have achievements happen on a yoga mat. And it's so much more about tuning into yourself, feeling what it's like for your body to be in this moment. It's about deepening the connection between the mind and the body. It's about rebalancing the nervous system, letting go of blocks and stiffness in the body, both in the physical, but also in the emotional way. So there's a lot that happens when we let go of striving, when we are not thinking of how to make this pose bigger, deeper, how to push the body into the shape that we saw on Instagram or we want our body to take. And there's so much power in connecting to what you feel in the body as you take the shape of a pose that is accessible to you today, without judgment, without expectations, without wishing to be better or do better or compete with others. None of that should be present in trauma-informed yoga practice. It's about honoring your body as it is and as you are. And of course, ironically, as you practice regularly, of course, you benefit from the physical aspect of yoga because that has a cumulative effect. But that is not the purpose. It's not the purpose to get fit or to get more flexible. The purpose is to be more present in your body and in your life and rebalance the nervous system so that you can experience your life to the fullest all of the other time you're not practicing on the mat. So I hope that gives a bit of an introduction to how different the style is. And when we start practicing, you may notice that as well. Also, what makes trauma-informed yoga different is that there's a lot of options given because we take into consideration that everybody is different in their body, in their fitness level, in their flexibility, in the way their skeleton is and the muscles are. Not every pose is accessible to everybody simply because of the body they were given. So there's a lot of options given, and no option is better than the other. It is a practitioner's responsibility to try and figure out which variation feels best for them right now. And then next time you practice, you may choose a different variation of the same pose, and that is okay. None of it is better, none of it is worse. It is what it is. So we take off the seriousness of yoga and that, striving to be the best practitioner in a room. None of that happens here, especially online. You're probably alone in your room and there's no one to impress, there's no one to compete with. Just be with yourself and with your body. And the easiest way to facilitate that is to connect to the breath. So let's begin our practice with that. Sit, you can sit cross-legged, but this is not necessary. If you'd like to, you can just extend your legs out and sit like this. This is perfectly fine too. We are just here sitting. I'm used to sitting this way, so don't mind me if I do. And I invite you to gently maybe close your eyes halfway, or if you're comfortable to close them all the way, and take a deep breath in through your nose, out of your mouth, in through your nose, out of your mouth. One more time, just like that. In and out. Take a moment to notice how you feel right now. How you feel physically in your body. Maybe you can feel the touch of clothes on your skin. Maybe you can feel the places where your body is pressing into the surface underneath you. Maybe you have sensations in your body from sitting up like this, and you feel it in your legs or in your back. Try not to judge, not to label anything as good or bad, and just notice what is present. Even if you wish it to be different, notice, okay, I have this going on. Or maybe it's really nice and pleasant. Try not to attach to it and just notice. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out of your mouth, and gently blink your eyes open. We'll start our movement, and remember, everything I'm making is a suggestion. Inhale your arms up through the sides and reach really tall through your arms, through your fingers, through your side body. Try not to overarch your back, keeping your back straight. So if that makes your arms go a little bit lower, let it be. Inhale and reach up higher one more time. Exhale, bring your right palm down onto the fingertips or onto the palm and reach over to the right. Pulling yourself up from the top of the left hip point through the left side of the body, left arm, left fingertips. And notice how that feels. Breathe into your left side body. Notice when you inhale how the side expands. And observe the sensations that comes with. If this is a little too much, you can always take it a little bit down a notch and don't give it your all. We practice yoga at about 60% of effort. So if this is a bit too much sensation, you can ease out of this a bit. Breathe through your nose deeply and slowly. And next time you inhale, rainbow your arms up to center. And when you exhale, lean to the left hand comes down on the floor beside you, fingertips or palm, reach up and over with your right arm, stretching the right side of the body. And again, you can balance here if you want to go really deeply into it or if you want to take it easier. It's your body, your practice. You're the driver, you get to decide. Of course, you want to feel a bit of stretching to have some benefit from this. So, don't stay. Don't stay where you don't feel anything. There is definitely a balance of sensations to get used to in a way and look forward to, but with a lot of kindness and grace. Keep breathing here. And next time you inhale, come to center. Exhale, lean to the right, reach. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left to reach through your right arm. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Notice the sensations. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. And one more time. Inhale, center, reach up, grow tall. Exhale to the right. Open up your left side body. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. And inhale, center, release your arms gently. Just don't drop them, but float them down as if you're floating through water. Inhale, float your arms up, palms up, again as if you're floating in a lake of water. Exhale, palms down, float your arms down as slowly as possible. Noticing sensations in your body, how this feels. Inhale up. Exhale down. Make this as slow as possible. Noticing sensations in your arms, in your shoulders, in your back perhaps. One more time. Inhale up. And this time start to turn your torso to the right and then exhale your arms down, coming into a really gentle twist, bringing your fingertips down onto the floor, or if you don't reach the floor, bring your left hand onto your right knee. You can bring your right hand on the small of your back or on the floor if you reach the floor. And there's no forcing needed, so don't use your arms to force yourself into this. Just keep twisting your torso to the right, just with the strength of your muscles. And we're using our hands to support, to stabilize, and notice the sensations in your body. If you're comfortable to, you can go a little bit deeper in the twist. But if you're not sure or your body's achy, we don't tolerate pain. Discomfort is different than pain, and pain is a sharper sensation. We definitely don't want to go there. It is a red flag, a red sign for us to stop and back off. But you may feel some sensations from the stretching, and they are not sharp. They're more dull and kind of itchy a lot of times. That's usually a sign of tissues in your body moving. We don't move, modern human, very much of our body. So in yoga, we start to tap into the places that haven't seen a lot of movement. And that's where that sensation, that kind of like itchy, slightly burning, tingling may come from. That usually means that the blood flow is activating in those parts. And next time you inhale, start to unwind back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. So turn your torso to the left, lower your arms down, maybe bring your right palm on your left knee, left hand on the floor behind you or on the low of your back, and breathe. Keep your body upright. So it doesn't matter how deeply you twist if you are slouched, right? So keep your spine straight. Even if your twist is just a couple of degrees, it doesn't matter. You're still getting the benefit from the practice. Don't worry. You do not have to turn yourself into a pretzel to benefit from yoga. A lot of the things that we know about yoga from social media is unfortunately not true. So we also in trauma-informed yoga undo a lot of expectations from the body and from yourself. So doesn't matter how deeply you go. What matters is that you're here, breathing, moving. Try to relax your shoulders and draw them down away from your ears as you're sitting here in a twist. That may feel as shoulder blades sliding down your back, or you may feel some broadening happening here on top of your shoulders. And breathe. If you can, try to find softness in your body so that there's effort, but also softness, that you're not clenching your teeth, here because this pose. And next time you inhale, come to center, lift your arms up. Exhale, float them down. Bring your fingertips onto your shoulders and we'll do circles with the elbows a couple of times to wake the shoulders up. Make this movement fluid, gentle, smooth. Breathe. Notice sensations in your body as you do this and change direction. And then extend your right hand, right arm in front of you with the palm facing away from you and the fingers pointing up. And then bring your left arm forward and start to pull one finger one by one towards your face. So I'm pulling on my pinky right now. And only do so, to the degree that you're comfortable with. So what I'm doing here is I'm pressing the base of my palm forward. That activates my arm. So you will feel the arm wake up. And also with the arm active and the heel of the hand pressing forward, pull your fingers down. There may be a lot of sensations and warmth happening in the hands. So breathe deeply. And then slowly move to the ring finger. Keep pressing through the base of the hand. You may feel this all the way in your neck because we are really stretching all of that. There's a lot that happens in the body because of how much we sit. So we're undoing some of that gently. And now middle finger. Notice what you feel. If the sensation's too much, back off a little bit. And then index finger. Breathe deeply through your nose. I'm going to remind you of this because when we get stressed or we feel something unpleasant, we forget to breathe and we kind of, stop breathing. Now, thumb, and now pull the thumb out to the side and towards your forearm. So we forget to breathe, and that's why my job as a yoga teacher is to remind you to take a deep breath, deep, going into your belly. Good, and now give your hand a shake, and then open and close the hand a couple of times. And we'll move on to the other side. So bring your left palm forward, press into the base of the palm, open up your fingers wide, and with your right hand, pull back on a pinky. Breathe, soften your shoulders. Notice where else in the body you may be clenching, and maybe send softness to that area. Move on to the ring finger. Keep pressing into the base of the palm, keeping the arm active all the way into the shoulder. And you may feel this in the neck. And then move to the middle finger. Keep opening your fingers wide. This is a really good proactive movement for carpal tunnel. So because we're opening the inside of the wrist as well. And then move to the index finger. A lot of preventative maintenance happens here. And if you already have carpal tunnel or something similar to that, as far as sensations, that this may be very beneficial to you. And then move to the thumb. Take a deep breath. Give your arms, even both of them, give them a shake. Shake out your hands and then open and close your left hand a few times. Good, we're now ready to move a little bit more. So slide your legs out to the side, swing over and come into all fours, tabletop. So bring your hands roughly underneath your shoulders. They don't have to be shoulder width apart. They can be wider if you need more stability. But as far as positioning, so that your arms aren't too forward, aren't too back, they should be aligned with the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips, and try not to look up at the screen, because I would rather have the back of the neck long. So look down at the mat between your hands. Open up your fingers wide, index fingers pointing forward, palms open, fingers are, fanning out to the side, and then press actively into the hands so that your arms are active and as if you're trying to push the mat away, to push the floor away. Curl your tailbone under slightly just to keep your belly engaged. So we're not doing the cat pose yet, but just tiny bit of a, curling your tailbone under so that the belly starts to work and the lower back is long. Looking down at the mat, pressing the ground away. Take a deep breath in. Notice how you feel in your body. What do you feel? What does this feel like? And now start to drop your belly down, pressing your chest forward between your arms. Look straight up, tailbone up, cow pose. And then as you exhale, round your back, drop your head, drop your tailbone down, cat pose. Keep pressing the ground away as you move. Inhale, cow. We're basically stretching the front of the body here. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Notice the sensations in your body as you move your spine, as you move your upper body and your hips. And when you're a cat, you may notice the stretching of the back, even maybe in your neck. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale. Stretch your back. Allow the space between your shoulders to widen and broaden. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good, and now come back to neutral spine, where your upper body is parallel to the floor, tailbone slightly tucked to keep your belly engaged. And here we're gonna start straightening the right leg behind and putting it on the toes, so toes are still on the mat. And then for most of us, we need to draw the right hip down a little bit, because usually when we straighten the leg, the hip wants to go up. So let's bring that hip down, and then make sure to tuck your tailbone under so that your belly continues to be engaged. The core muscles are activated. Keep pressing the ground away with both of your hands. You can stay here or maybe float your leg off the mat, but make sure you're not collapsing in your belly. So if your leg is floating just an inch off the mat, that's okay. If it's back on the mat, it's okay. I'd rather you keep the integrity in the core and in the pelvis. Stay here and make sure that wherever you are, you're pressing back through the right heel so that the leg is active. You can feel the muscles engaging. Press the ground away with both of your arms. That way the muscles of the arms are engaging. And maybe stay here, maybe float your left hand up and reach forward through your fingertips. If you have, wherever you have your leg, keep pressing back through the right heel. Keep pressing the ground away with your right hand. Breathe. Curl your tailbone under to not let the belly collapse. One more time, inhale. Exhale, bring your hand down, bring your knee down. find the center again. You may need to readjust where your hands land and where your knees are. Take a breath in, press the ground away. Notice how you feel here. And start to straighten your left leg behind you, and then make sure to bring your hip down slightly towards the mat to keep your hips square. Keep pressing through the left heel here to activate your leg. Press the ground away with both arms. Maybe stay here just like this. This is enough activity in the body. Maybe float your left leg up. Check in with your core. Is it active? And then maybe float your right arm up. And at any point, if you get wobbly, you can always come back to a different variation of this pose. Keep pressing back through the left heel. Keep pressing the ground away with the left arm. And if you have your right arm floating up, reach forward. Breathe. Strong body. Everything is working here. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hand down, bring your knee down. And now let's come into a child pose and take a moment of breath and rest. So bring your big toes together, knees slightly wider apart, and then the hips, and lower your hips down onto the heels, walking your hands forward, and your head comes down towards the mat. Your hips are gravitating as if a magnet is pulling them down towards the heels. It doesn't matter how far apart they are, it's the direction of the movement that matters. And then your arms are pulling your upper body forward as if you can get a little bit longer. Take a deep breath in and out. Notice how you feel. Notice if your body got a bit warmer from the activity we just did. Maybe you can feel your heart beating faster, or your breath got more shallow and more quick. Just notice what is happening. And as you breathe deeply and slowly through your mouth, can you notice all of that slow down? The heat of your body calm down, the breath, the heartbeat, everything slows down. Maybe walk your fingertips a little bit forward to get a little bit more length in your upper body. Good, and now press into your hands and walk yourself up to seated. We are going to come into a downward facing dog now, because of course what yoga class is there without a downward facing dog. So when you are in tabletop, look at where your hands are when they are underneath the shoulders, and look at where the fingers end. And now lift your hand and place the base of the palm where the fingertips were, and do that on both hands to give yourself a longer stand for downward facing dog. Lift your feet off the floor, flex your feet, press into the toes, and then start to push the ground away with both of your arms. Curl up in your upper back just a little bit, as if you're doing like half of a cat pose. And then pressing into your arms really actively. Fingers are out wide to give you more support. Start to lift your knees off the floor and push your hips up and back. Knees can stay bent as much as you need to. Straight legs is never the goal of this pose, despite what you may have seen on Instagram. And here I invite you to pedal out your feet, just bending one leg and then another, swaying your hips side to side. Continue to press the ground away with both of your arms. just like we did in a tabletop, but slightly in a different shape here. Keep pedaling out your legs, noticing sensations, because now we are getting in the legs. You may feel sensations everywhere in your hips, in the back of the leg, in the calf, in the feet. Keep walking your dog, bringing movement to the legs, increasing the blood flow, stretching those muscles. Make this your own. And at any point, if you get too overwhelmed, perhaps you are welcome to come back into a child pose. Keep pedaling your feet. Good, and now come to stillness, feet hip width apart, and pigeon toe your feet a little bit so that the outer edges of the feet are parallel and toes are looking slightly in. Again, knees can be bent as much as you need to. Keep pressing the ground away to get a lot of length in your back. That is the main purpose of the pose, is to stretch out the spine. So keep pressing into your hands and try to push the weight of your body towards the legs, at the same time pressing the hips up and back. Take a breath here. Exhale. Bend your knees even more and look forward between the hands and take baby steps towards the top of the mat until your feet reach the hands and you can bend your knees as much as you need here. We're coming into a forward fold. You can have your arms just dropping down heavy, or maybe clasp the opposite elbows or wrists or forearms. And you can stay still here, or if you'd like to, you can sway side to side, noticing any sensations that may come up. Where do you feel this? Breathe deeply through your nose. And then if you really like to, you can bring your belly onto your thighs and just let your upper body rest on your legs and see how that feels for you. If that makes this pose more comfortable, more tolerable, more enjoyable. Breathe deeply all the way into your belly. So if your belly is pressing into your thighs, when you inhale, you'll notice that pressure of the inhale pulling your belly apart, kind of into the thighs. And when you exhale, allow your upper body to soften. One more inhale. Exhale. If you had your elbows clasped, release that clasp. Shake your head yes gently. Shake your head no gently. And then next time you inhale, press into your feet and start to roll your back up to standing, unraveling your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Take a moment here. Stay with your feet shoulder width apart. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Again, slow down your breathing. Take a deep inhale and a cleansing exhale. And stay here for a moment, noticing sensations in your body. Notice your feet pressing into the floor or the mat you're on. Notice sensations in your legs, your arms, your shoulders. What do you feel? And if you feel nothing, that's okay too. The purpose of this is to observe and get used to observing how the body feels at any given moment. And now blink your eyes open, and I invite you to sit down on your mat. It is a shorter class today, so we're not going to do like a sun salutation, but rather a simple entry into the weekend. Extend your legs in front of you and bring your feet hip width apart or wider. Lean back onto your hands and allow your legs to just sway side to side. If you'd like to just focus on your feet being like windshield wipers, and the rest of your leg will follow. This usually takes out a lot of pressure from the legs, any strain you may feel, and you can make this movement really fast or slow. And you can try doing the European windshield wiper. So this is American, when both feet are moving in the same direction, and if it's opposite, that is European. So see what feels better in your body. Only you know what it's like to be in your body. Only you know what it feels like. So take this in. Notice, what do you like better? Try them both. It's like ice cream. Do you like chocolate or do you like vanilla? You don't know until you try. Same thing with yoga. Any movement of the body, you can try and be like, I hate that, I love that. And that's okay. You get a right to decide. And then maybe tap the backs of the legs on the floor. This is also a really nice release. And I want to invite you to come into a simple forward fold. So keep your legs extended. You can add a bend in the knees. Inhale, straighten your spine. You can press the hands into the mat or into your thighs to really elongate the chest so that we kind of lift the belly off the thighs. We puff the chest here, and with that really straight back, start to lean forward with a straight back for now, as if you're pushing the chest forward. It's leading the way. And then when you know you can no longer go any further, that is when you can soften your head down towards your legs and maybe drop your arms down and allow your upper body to just soften. If you do have flexibility and length in the body, you may start reaching for your shins, your ankles, your feet. You may even start straightening your legs if you have that capacity, but if you don't force it. Focus on allowing your upper body to relax. But think of not dropping the head down, but rather reaching towards the feet. So there's still a little bit of elongation happening in the upper body. So we're not really surrendering to the gravity. We're trying to straighten the spine just a little bit, as much as you can, even if it's like a micromillimeter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your practice looks like. What matters is how it feels like. So when you feel that change of direction in your body, when you practice a pose, that's what matters. The intention of the movement. The direction of the movement, not the scale or the size of the movement or the depth of it. That comes with time and practice and based on how your body is built. So I invite you to let go of any expectations of what your body should look like in this pose and focus on relaxing the upper body. Dropping the head down maybe even further so that the back of your neck can get a stretch. And allow yourself to soften. There is a little bit of effort happening here, of course, to keep your body up. But mostly try to relax and soften into this pose so that you can really take a breath I invite you to join me on exhaling audibly through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out. Take a normal breath in and a regular breath out. And then when you're ready, start to unravel your spine up. Coming up to seated. We are out of time, so if you want to take a Shavasana after this on your own, you're welcome to lie down on your back and rest and take the time you deserve. But for the sake of time management, I'm going to stay up. And thank you for practicing. Let's close, for those of us who are sitting up, let's close the practice by rubbing the hands together, generating the heat between the hands. You can feel your hands getting warmer. And you can imagine building up positive energy between the palms, any positive intention, anything that you really want for yourself. And then bring that over your eyes, noticing the heat of the hands melting into the little muscles around your eyes, allowing them to soften. And then blink your eyes open a couple of times. And remove your hands from your face, watching those palms float away from your face. And then rub your palms together again, generating more positive energy and intentions between the palms of your hands. And then bring all that energy to your face, the top of your head, the back of your head, your throat, your shoulders and your arms, your chest, your belly, your back, your glutes, your legs, covering your entire body with that positive energy and positive intentions. Inhale your arms up, sealing up this bubble of positivity around you. And then bring your hands down to your heart center in a prayer or namaste position. And you can stay here, or you can join me in bowing your head in gratitude for the body that each one of us have been gifted with, and the efforts of this body to keep us living and experiencing this life. I hope that you leave this practice today with a heightened sense of connection to your body, and also a heightened sense of appreciation for your body and everything that it does for you. I thank you for practicing with me. And I wish you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in, those of you who are here live, and those of you watching in recording, just the same. Thank you for finding time today to practice and to connect to yourself and to your body.